Take a look at any pencil on your desk. It's probably yellow, bright, familiar, ordinary. But the reason pencils are yellow isn't an accident, and it isn't simple. It's a story involving secrets, national pride, deception, dangerous trade routes, and one of the most valuable materials on Earth. This is the surprising and surprisingly dark history of why pencils are yellow. In the early 1800s, writing tools were terrible. Quills broke, ink smudged, and early pencils were weak, crumbly sticks of low-quality graphite. Everything changed when traders discovered an ultra-pure graphite deposit in China. Graphite so smooth, so dark, and so rare that European merchants described it as black gold. At the time, China guarded its graphite sources like a state secret. Exporting the raw material was dangerous, smuggling was common. Nations fought to control supply chains. So, when a pencil was made with Chinese graphite, it wasn't just a writing tool, it was a luxury item. And manufacturers needed a way to show off. In Chinese culture, the color yellow symbolized royalty, power, prestige, and the emperor himself. Yellow was sacred, reserved for nobles and the highest ranks of society. So, European pencil makers began painting their pencils yellow to advertise that their graphite came from China. It was a form of marketing, status signaling, and a clever psychological trick. A yellow pencil meant, this pencil uses the rare, elite Chinese graphite. This is the highest quality money can buy. The plan worked. People bought them instantly. But the story was about to get darker. As yellow pencils became popular, other manufacturers saw an opportunity. They didn't have pure Chinese graphite. They didn't have elite resources. They didn't have connections to China's rare mines. But they did have one thing: yellow paint. Companies started painting cheap, low-quality pencils yellow to trick buyers into thinking they were premium. This launched a massive wave of counterfeits, poor quality imitations, and misleading advertising. People believed yellow meant luxury, and unscrupulous manufacturers took advantage of that belief for decades. By the early 1900s, the strategy had worked too well. Yellow had become the default color of high-quality pencils worldwide. Even after China's graphite monopoly faded, and even after new graphite mines opened in Europe and America, pencil companies stuck with yellow. Why? Because by then, yellow didn't just mean Chinese graphite, it meant good pencil. Parents expected yellow pencils for their children. Schools ordered them in bulk. Companies marketed them as the trustworthy choice. Yellow became the global icon of writing, but behind the scenes, something much darker was happening. Early yellow pencils often used lead-based paint. Manufacturers didn't realize how dangerous it was, some did realize, and used it anyway because it was cheap and produced a perfect shade of bright yellow. Workers in pencil factories absorbed lead dust. Children chewed on pencils coated in lead paint. Many countries didn't regulate pigments at all. Lead poisoning from painted toys and pencils became a global problem, especially in the early 20th century. It took decades before safer pigments replaced lead paint and governments banned toxic coatings. The iconic yellow we all recognize today was once a symbol of luxury, but also a health hazard. Today, pencils could be any color. They could be blue, black, green, or unpainted. But most are still yellow. Not because of tradition, not because of culture, but because of a centuries-old marketing trick based on a rare resource, national symbolism, and a global deception. Every time you pick up a yellow pencil, you're holding a small piece of history, one that's far stranger, darker, and more fascinating than anyone expects.